Hello and welcome to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness Vaporeon Only Challenge. Now, if you've ever seen or played this game, you would know that it primarily consists of double battles, so is there anything really stopping you from playing the game with only one Pokemon? And the answer is no, for the most part. Now, in terms of all the Eevees, I think Vaporeon is going to do the best. It just has great overall stats for most type of runs. It's a water type, which is pretty tanky defensively. And it's just well known for being a pretty good Pokemon. So anyway, let's get into it. For base stats, Vaporeon has 130 HP, 65 attack, 60 defense, 110 special attack, 95 special defense, and 65 speed. Its level up learn set consists of normal, water, dark, and ice type attacks. And its HM and TM learn set consists of mostly the same, with a few standout moves like Iron Tail and Shadow Ball. Now, if you notice the lines going through some of the moves on those lists, it's because they just do not exist in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness or our post-game. Our Vaporeon has a naughty nature, raising its attack and lowering its special defense. While not great, it does mean that tackles and quick attacks will be doing a bit more damage in the early game. And for its ability, it gets Water Absorb, which might be one of the best abilities in the game. It makes it so that if you get hit with a water type attack, you heal health, and some Pokemon can only use water type attacks, so it means that they're basically stuck healing you. So if you saw my last video on Eevee, you would know that I messed up the Shadow Teddiursa purification quite substantially. I had to do a lot of extra grinding, a lot of extra running around, but this time I think I've got it down to a science. So you just need 4 different trainer battles, and you just have to run around a little bit, and then you can buy 5 Vivid Scents with the money that you haven't spent yet, and you will be able to purify Shadow Teddiursa. Now here at Mount Battle, we get access to our first water type move, Water Gun, only 30 base power, but with the same type attack bonus, it will be 45, which isn't too bad. Moving right along into the first Power Rangers fight, I chose Red because I have super effective damage against them, and as you can see there, an easy one-shot. Houndour is a Shadow Pokemon. It's the first one I've shown so far, other than Teddiursa. And it will actually survive one, but its Shadow Blitzes just don't do a lot of damage because of our huge health. In fact, if you compare this to the Eevee video, you can see just how much easier Vaporeon is getting through this fight at only level 18. But yeah, another Water Gun through the confusion will do it, and that's Red down. You know, I really don't have much to say on these fights, so I think I'm just going to set it to 10 times speed and just let them play out. I'm assuming you watched the Eevee video. If you haven't, you might want to watch that for a bit more play-by-play on these battles, but honestly, they're not all that interesting anyway. It's just a good gauge of how I think Vaporeon is probably going to do throughout the game, and although these did take a while, they weren't really an issue for Vaporeon whatsoever. So, I mean, so far it's looking pretty good. Oh, and right here, Water Absorb. This Chinchou only has Water Absorb and Supersonic, so now it can't hit me. It can only make me hit myself. Anyway, on with the montage. Now at the first boss of the game, Lina, she sends out a Love Disc and a Beautifly. Now both of these are pretty weak, but I choose to take down the Beautifly because Love Disc can only use Tackle or Water Gun, and it's only going to spam Tackle because it's smart enough to not use Water Gun on me. And Gust do just a little more damage. So I take down the Beautifly, and then out comes the threat of last time in the Eevee video, and also in this video, Roselia. And once again, it's because of Leech Seed. And especially more so this time because Vaporeon has such high health and it takes an eighth of your health. Or maybe it's a 16th. Roselia just heals huge chunks of health. So much so that I can't actually take it down. I can only use Bite on it because water isn't very effective on it. And it also has Giga Drain doing super effective damage and healing it. So, in the War of Attrition, Roselia just wins. If it sets up Leech Seed, that is. Which brings us straight into second try. So we take down the Beautifly and a critical hit. Out comes Roselia once again. Love Disc does a very not effective tackle. We use Sand Attack this time. Now, I'm not sure if it's technically the best play, because Bite does have the 30% chance to actually flinch, but it works out for us. We use Bite, and we get a flinch. Very nice. A Bite will take down Roselia, and out comes Delcatty, her shadow Pokemon. And without the Roselia here setting up the Leech Seed, this should be a breeze. There's nothing she can really do to actually take us down. A Bite critical hit definitely helps though. Now it's only a 2-shot. A Shadow Rush does a decent amount. But at this point it's over. One Bite on the Love Disc should take it down now. Oh, not quite. Living is done. Now, one thing I didn't realize when I was going into this challenge was that water types are at a severe disadvantage in this game for one pretty basic reason. The best 100% accurate water type move that any water type can get in this game is Water Pulse, and you have to do 20 floors of Mount Battle to get it. And so that's a bit of a time loss. You do get a few levels, but it does take a while. And really, it's only a 90 base power with stab attack move. So it's not even as strong as if you had Surf in the normal games. So it's between this or Hydro Pump. Hello, Mirror B. As always, the obligatory Mirror B has to be in a video that's talking about XD. So here he is. We're not actually going to fight him, I just wanted to show him. Anyway. Onto the Real Game Tower to go pick up Blizzard, quite possibly Vaporeon's either greatest strength or greatest weakness. It's got 70% accuracy, but it's got 120 base power and it hits both sides. I end up replacing Aurora Beam because it's going to get replaced very soon anyway. The Power Rangers are back, and just as threatening as before. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All defeated. Right here we pick up the TM for Ice Beam, which we will learn immediately over Quick Attack. And we'll move right on to the Snattle fight. He leads with a Lantern and a Quagsire. Out comes my Vaporeon, now equipped with Blizzard and Ice Beam. Bite does a decent chunk to Lantern, but not enough for a 2-shot. I do get a lucky flinch though. Rock Tomb comes out. Oh, also you might notice my health is a little low. That's because every time you do this fight, there's a fight right before it. So I like to go ahead and show this one anyway, just so I can get an idea of how it's going to be. Anyway, a second Rock Tomb comes out. Unfortunately, a crit on that one. Another speed drop. Shadow Sky, because I'm slower now. Water Pulse comes out. Takes it down in one shot, which is very good information. Out comes Cast Form. With a speed drop. The Fruity Pebbles rain from the sky, damaging everyone. And I use Ice Beam because at this point it is on par with Water Pulse in terms of damage. So it's about the same, but I can get a freeze chance instead of a confusion chance. Out comes Matang. Another Rock Tomb, but this one actually misses. More Fruity Pebbles. I go for Blizzard, and well, there's the Thunder Punch to take me down. Let's try number 1. Straight back into it with full health this time. Ice Beam does take out the Quagsire, which is very fortunate. No more speed drops. Lunaton comes out. A Shockwave, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't really do that much damage. Water Pulse will take out the Lunatone, as we saw in the previous fight. Out comes Cast Form again. Shockwave. As long as we don't get a paralysis, I think we're good. Now, I do bite Lantern again, hoping for a flinch, and I do leave Cast Form alive. It also has Shockwave, but it does way less damage. And because there's no weather set up, it's not going to go for Weather Ball, so it's just going to keep spamming Shockwave. A second bite will take down Lantern. Out comes Matang. Another Shockwave. I'm not sure why I Water Pulsed here. Oh, never mind. I guess it was the correct choice. Right, Steel doesn't resist water. Never mind. And an Ice Beam takes down Cast Form. And just like that, Snattle has been defeated on his second attempt. Very nice. Now, if leftovers were good for Eevee, leftovers on Vaporeon is amazing. Because of just how much health Vaporeon has. Moving on, I didn't show the Mecha Groudon, like, load-up sequence. It's pretty neat. I just didn't last time because I didn't actually record it. Anyway, Mecha Groudon has been defeated, but it's pretty cool. I go back over to Getty Port and go pick up the Quick Claw, just by saying no to all of this lady's questions. My speed's a bit low, so it might actually be helpful here. Moving on to the next boss battle, here is Gonzap of the Snag'em Hideout. He leads with a Nuzleaf and Electrode. Now, unlike last time, if you saw the Eevee video, Electrode will actually be using an electric type attack to do super effective damage. Nuzleaf always goes for Fake Out, and then it'll start spamming Hyper Beam. Electrode goes for Spark, no paralysis, paralysis. Okay, either this is going to be a very long battle, or I'm going to lose. Hyper Beam comes out and does quite a lot with a critical hit. Ice Beam one-shots Electrode. Out comes the Vileplume. I heal a good amount. Nuzleaf recharges. Giga Drain almost takes me out. Ice Beam takes out the Vileplume with a crit. Whiscash comes out, but at this point there's no way I can handle a Hyper Beam or any move from Whiscash. And yep, there's try number one. Right back at it again. Out come the Electrode and Nuzleaf. I'm just looking to not get paralyzed this time by Spark, but I will have to take at least one if I don't outspeed the Electrode. No paralysis. Nope. Okay. And we are faster, so we take it down in one hit. Out comes Vileplume. Nuzleaf uses Hyper Beam. No crit this time. Nope, and it does almost nothing. We use Ice Beam to take out Vileplume. And then once again, out comes Whiscash. Nuzleaf's got to recharge. I heal a little bit. Ice Beam should take out the Whiscash. It does. Out comes Skarmory. Another Hyper Beam. Doing very little. Ice Beam the Skarmory. Take it down. And now a final Ice Beam will take down the Nuzleaf. And that's Gonzap. And straight into the next fight against Gorigan, who leads with a Lairon and a Celio. Now this time we do actually have a type advantage over him. We're not having to spam normal or dark type moves on his steel types and other very tanky Pokemon. And Celio doesn't really do that much damage with Earthquake. So we take down the Lairon in one hit. Out comes Slowking, who is half psychic, so a super effective bite should take it down. And it does not. It's very close though. Maybe we got a low roll. Anyway, the Earthquake from Celia will definitely take it down. Out comes Ursaring. We use Ice Beam on it, but it used Protect that turn. Celia uses another Earthquake, doing very little. And an Ice Beam should take it down though. It does. And then out comes the first Shadow Pokemon of his, Primeape. A Body Slam, as long as we don't get paralyzed. We don't. An Ice Beam into Primeape should take it down. It does. And then out comes Hypno. Another Earthquake. Does a decent chunk to Hypno. We might actually be able to one-shot now with a bite. And a crit will definitely settle that. And now it's just up against Celio. So this battle is basically won. There's one bite. And there's two bites. And there goes the battle. We return to Gattian Port to go slide into our newly crafted Robo-Kyogre to ride in style to the last area of the game, Citadark Isle. And I think Vaporeon is going to tear through this place. The first of the rematch fights is against Lavrina once again. She sends out a Gardevoir and a Gorbis. Now, unfortunately, our Vaporeon is male, so it will be able to get attracted by Gorbis. Gardevoir does have Thunder Punch though, which will be doing a ton of damage. And here comes the attract. Now I'm just praying for some good luck. Now I do end up going to take out Gardevoir, because I think it just does too much damage and the chance of paralysis is too high. It uses Confusion and doesn't really do that much damage. Ice Beam against the Roselia actually hits through Attract and takes it down in one hit. Out comes Farfetch'd, which does have the chance to confuse me. It is her first Shadow Pokemon as well. Another very weak Confusion, because Gorbis can't use its water type attacks, otherwise it would heal me. Now I decide to focus my attention on the Gorbis. Unfortunately, my love cannot be stopped. A bite takes it down with a lucky critical hit, very nice. And out comes Altaria. And I haven't really been showing it throughout the game just because there's just a lot of trainer battles. But I do spam Blizzard with no fear and very recklessly. So here's the first one. It hits Farfetch'd, does a ton of damage, takes it down, and misses the Altaria. Very unfortunate. And an Ice Beam should be able to take it down, unless I get hit in Confusion. Shadow Break shouldn't do that much damage though. And Ice Beam hits, and takes it down in one shot. And that's Lavrina. Moving on to battle number 2 against Snattle. He leads with a Matang and a Quagsire. Out comes my Vaporeon. I use Ice Beam on Quagsire because it one-shot it before. Why shouldn't it one-shot it now? And it does. Scizor comes out. Matang uses Thunder Punch, doing almost no damage. An Ice Beam into Scizor does not do that much damage. Does Bug not resist, or is Bug not weak to ice in this game? I thought it was. Anyway, I move over to Water Pulse because it's going to do neutral damage and be my strongest attack. Out comes Solrock. who is his first Shadow Pokemon. It always sets up Shadow Sky whenever it comes out first, or on its first turn. So Water Pulse should take it down though, and it does. Out comes Cast Form once again. Another Thunder Punch. A critical hit, but still not that much damage. Ice Beam should take down Cast Form, and it does. And out comes the Starmie that I always forget about, his second Shadow Pokemon. A Thunder Punch. Still no paralysis, luckily. Bite should take it down. It is faster than me, though. And it does. One last Thunder Punch before it goes down. Unfortunately, now I get paralyzed, but it happened now and not at the very beginning, so very fortunate. Bite doesn't quite take it down. I guess maybe I should have used Water Pulse. And there's Snattle too. Now, just as I did last time, I want to highlight a trainer battle that was very annoying and or struggling. And right here we have this guy with a Blissey and a Shuckle, who walled me, paralyzed me, and wouldn't let me do anything for ages. Anyway, on to Ardos, who leads with a Swallow and an Alakazam, and this has actually been the hardest fight for Vaporeon in the entire game. So I use Ice Beam on the Swallow. This is my current first attempt. It gets a crit, which is very lucky. Out comes Kingdra. Alakazam uses Thunder Punch, which does very little damage. Ice Beam into Kingdra because it is half Dragon type. Does not take it down. Another Thunder Punch. Double Edge should take out the Kingdra. And then out comes Heracross. Ice Beam does take down Alakazam. Out comes Electabuzz. Luckily we don't really have any physical moves anymore, so it can't hit us with, or get us with its ability Static, like we could on the Eevee video. We do drop speed, which is unfortunate, but we are still faster than everything here. Ice Beam does not quite take down Electabuzz. We get a freeze, and it's gone. Shadow Break doesn't do that much damage. Another Rock Tomb lowers their speed further. Blizzard, because I think I'm gonna lose. We are now faster than slower than Electabuzz. Luckily the Heracross misses, so we can see the Blizzard in action, and it does very little to Heracross. But at least we made it to Snorlax, who absolutely walls us because it is a special tank. So, yeah, let's try that again. So, back again, a few levels higher, and this is now attempt number 6. So, Ice Beam on the Swallow, because it does have the move Shadow Half, which halves everything's on the field HP. So, I really don't want that. Once again, Alakazam is just going to spam Thunder Punches. And at this point I'm deciding on whether or not I want to take down the Alakazam or the Kingdra, because Kingdra can only spam Double Edge. Its only other move that it uses is Hydro Pump. So it's just going to be doing damage to itself, and not very strong damage to me. Ice Beam into Kingdra anyway. I guess it didn't matter. Or maybe I was just waiting for it to set itself up to die. I don't know. Anyway, Rock Tomb misses, which is pretty lucky. Ice Beam on the Electabuzz should take it down now. Now that I'm 3 levels higher. Out comes the Snorlax once again. Rock Tomb also misses again. And now I'm just going to start biting Snorlax. Because if it uses Shadow End or Shadow Half, it's going to be doing tons of damage. So if I can prevent that, it's probably better. It's only got 50% accuracy, so It's not like it's all that likely to hit anyway, and anyway, there it hits. It's gonna do half damage to Snorlax though, so. Or half its health and damage. Another bite. Another Rock Tomb miss. Another miss from Snorlax. And a bite takes it down. And now an Ice Beam on Heracross should take it down. Or... yeah. Mega Horn does actually do quite a bit of damage. Ice Beam is not quite a one-shot, unfortunately. As long as he doesn't get a crit, I think we're good. Ooh, but very close. And that's Ardos. 6th attempt. Now, I did skip the first fight of Gorigan because it wasn't all that interesting, honestly. So this is now attempt number 2, and this is where I win. I take down Slowking with a bite. Out comes Aggron. And Ice Beam into Ursaring should take it down. Yep. I level up. Walrein comes out. Aggron uses Double Edge, which gets a crit, unfortunately, but... oh, it doesn't take any damage back. It's got the Iron Head. It uses Protect. I use Water Pulse into it. Whoops. An Earthquake that also gets a critical hit. But this turn I will take down Aggron. And then out comes Poliwrath, his first Shadow Pokemon. Double Edge, which doesn't really do that much damage. I use Ice Beam into Poliwrath. Why I do that, I do not know. Anyway, Poliwrath shoots up Shadow Sky. The Fruity Pebbles come down, so now I won't be healing from leftovers anymore. I'm thinking, okay, a bite into Poliwrath, which does about the same, but actually flinches. The Fruity Pebbles continue. I heal a little bit. Ice Beam should take it down now. And then out comes Mr. Mime, who is his second Shadow Pokemon. A Double Edge from Walrein. Still not doing that much damage. Everybody gets hit. A bite should take down Mr. Mime. It does. And now it's just Vaporeon against Walrein. And with all the chip damage it's been giving itself, and the Fruity Pebbles coming from the sky, it's now at half health. I use Bite, and take it down. And that's Gorigan. Now on to Eldes. This is also my second attempt. The reason for that is because I'm dumb, and I just spammed Blizzard last time when Salamence came out, and I just kept missing Salamence, so I just got taken down very quickly. Anyway, on to this fight. Manectric is a one-shot to Ice Beam. Out comes Salamence, his first Shadow Pokemon. Intimidate lowers my attack, but that's not really applicable to Vaporeon. Silver Wind could give Ninjask a whole bunch of buffs, but it doesn't. Ice Beam takes down Salamence. Flygon comes out. A speed boost, because that's its ability. Another Silver Wind. An Ice Beam should take down Flygon in one hit, which it does. Marowak comes out. His second Shadow Pokemon. Ice Beam into Marowak. should take it down. It does. And then out comes Lapras, his final Shadow Pokemon. It always sets up Shadow Sky on the first turn, so it's not really that much of a threat right off the bat. But if I can prevent it, I would like to. So I go for Bite, hoping for a flinch. It doesn't get it. Shadow Sky goes up. Ninjask takes a bit of damage. I heal off my damage. Another Bite. Doesn't quite take it down, but I do get a flinch. An Aerial Ace, because why not, I guess. Bite takes down Lapras, and now it's just Ninjask. Takes a bit of chip. And Ice Beam in to protect. One more turn. One last dose of Fruity Pebbles, and Ice Beam should take it out now. And that's Eldes. Now before we can get down to the final battle of the game, we have to go through the box legendary, Shadow Lugia. We are now level 75, so we still got quite a bit of room to grow in case the final battle is too hard. So, yeah, Shadow Lugia is not that much of a threat. We're just going to bite it and hope for flinches to take it down, and that's it. A critical hit. Vaporeon really wanted that legendary dead. So let's move straight into the fight. Why isn't it cutting to the fight? Did I mess up here? No, there's no reason to cut to any battle, because Vaporeon is an absolute beast. And it beat this battle, the hardest battle in the game, in one try, with low health. So let's see how Vaporeon does it. So a Water Pulse into Moltres, that way we don't get burnt by its move that has a 30% chance to burn. Out comes Executor, who is a Shadow Pokemon. In fact, the entire team is Shadow Pokemon. Shadow End misses. I use Ice Beam on Executor. Maybe I should have taken out Rhydon just because it has a higher attack, but it doesn't really matter. Out comes Tauros, lowering my attack, but also doesn't really matter. Rhydon hits a pretty strong Shadow End. I use Ice Beam into Tauros and take it down in one hit. And then out comes Articuno, the only Pokemon who can reasonably stand any type of a chance against me, because it is neutral to Ice Beam. It takes 2 shots to take down, but it only sets up Shadow Sky. Another Shadow End takes me very low. The Fruity Pebbles rain down. I use another Ice Beam. Articuno goes down. There's the last Pokemon. Another Shadow End. Unfortunately, now I'm not healing anymore. But as long as Rhydon keeps missing, it doesn't matter. Zapdos goes down in a single hit. And with just 45 health to spare, Vaporeon takes down the final battle without any issue whatsoever. And that's it. So, anyway, if you like this video, consider subscribing, liking, I don't know, maybe tell a friend. This was a lot of fun to do. I've always liked Vaporeon, but I never really knew just how much of a powerhouse it really was. Because I've always heard that Vaporeon's really good, not really that it's this good. It had almost no issues throughout the entire game. In fact, throughout the entire run, it only lost 15 battles. I fought so many trainers And they're all double battles. I'm always at a disadvantage, and Vaporeon had very little issue throughout the entire game. So anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, once again, while I'm re-editing this, I forgot to do the tier listing again. Vaporeon is an easy A, maybe even A+ Pokemon throughout this game. So yeah.